Here's another great Tim Price lick that I want to share as a remembrance for all that he shared with the saxophone and jazz education communities. Check this one out. You're going to learn how to play this one, plus stay tuned to the end where I'll share my 3 variations on it. Hi, I'm Donna from DonnaSchwartzMusic.com, the site to bring your playing and improvisation to the next level. And if you want more tips like what I'm going to share with you today, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and get notified when new videos are out. This Tim Price lick is also referred to by Tim as shape number 3. It's essentially a pattern or a lick over the 2-5-1 chord progression. I'm going to do this in concert B flat. Let's listen to it again. Now let's look at this more closely to see why it works and why it sounds so good. Here we are, here's the lick. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to show the tenor sax part. So this is in concert B flat, which means that it's going to be in C for B flat instruments, and it's going to be in G for E flat instruments like the alto sax. So what's really cool about this lick, it's got this descending type of line going on here, this descending type of shape. So it's starting off on the high point. The peak is not at the end. So that's one really interesting thing about this. He's starting on the higher end here. So it should give you a couple of ideas as well. So starting on the higher note and then working its way down. Notice this too. This is starting on a D, which is the root of the D minor 7 chord. Let's hear that chord. So over here. So we're starting on the root of that, working our way through, and then we're going to the root of the G7 chord. I'll do it down here. And then we're playing another root in the C major 7 chord. So over here. Now you've probably heard people admonish you to not connect to the roots of chords. Okay, let me give you a bonus tip here. You don't want to do that all the time. You can do it, it's fine, but don't do it all the time. Better voice leading most of the time would lead to the thirds of the chords or the sevenths. Okay, but hey, this is Tim Price. Tim knows what he's talking about, and he was an incredible educator, incredible player. This lick just happens to have this shape where he's hitting the roots of the chords. So it's okay. Just again, don't do it all the time. Okay, so the downward shape is hitting the roots of the chords over here. Now there's a lot of chromaticism over here as well. That's what makes it also sound really cool. But before we get to that, let's get to this first measure. So what's happening here, he's doing the root, he's doing the 7th. This is the 6th or the 13th. This is the 11th or the 4th. And even though these are not chord tones and this B is falling on a strong beat, the 2nd beat, it still sounds good. This is a nice sounding extension. And when you're in a minor chord, minor 7 chord, the 11th sounds really good. That sounds pretty good. Okay, now going on, now this feels a little more familiar because we've got the 5th here, we've got the 3rd, this is the 9th, also sounds good, and here's the root. Okay, and again, the root is connecting to the root over here. This is a jump. So this isn't what people consider voice leading, which is basically going to the closest note. And usually when it comes to like 2-5-1 progressions, usually the 3rd connects to the 7th or the 7th connects to the 3rd. Okay, but if you don't understand that, let it go. In time you will. Right now, he's connecting the root to this root. Okay, so these notes, all these notes sound really good in this first chord. Now we get to the next measure. Okay, so there's not voice leading, it's just starting on the root. It's going to, you would say an F sharp. We're going to call it a G flat because the line's going down. We want to see flats visually. It's better visually to see that. This is part of a bebop scale. Okay, so in a bebop scale, Actually, let me go backwards. That's the best way to do it. We have the root, the major seventh, the dominant seventh, and then the rest of the notes of the scale. And so he's doing a little bit of that here. Okay, going down the scale, big jump, and then going back up. So instead of, instead of going right to the E over here, he's putting in this ninth and he's jumping down to it. Now, what's really, really interesting, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I'm going to go off on a diversion just for a second. And for those people that really, really love bebop, love Charlie Parker, you're going to recognize this lick because Tim, it was probably his intention, but he took parts of this very popular bebop lick and put it in this dominant seventh chord. Here's the lick that you've heard 1.5 million times. But here, he's going ba ba da ba, not up. So this ninth is not up, it's down. So he's going, and then he's going up to the E, over here it's the 13th. He's not going to the 5th, the D, he's going chromatically to it. So that's Tim's little variation right here. Check it out. Here's Tim's lick. Let me do it again. So that's pretty cool, all right? And again, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, listen to a little bit more bebop. Listen to Charlie Parker. And often when he's soloing, you're going to hear ba-ba-do-ba-da-bum. But like I said, the variation bringing that A, that ninth down, and then adding this extra chromaticism, that is so cool. All right, aside from that, here's what's going on. Root, right? This would be the major seventh, the G flat. It's okay to put it in. It's fine. It sounds good. It's on an upbeat and it's heading somewhere. We're going down from the G to the F via the G flat. Nice little jump there. Okay, going back to the 6th or the 13th, the flat 13th, that spicy note, and then the 5th, okay, it's a strong chord tone, then the flat 5 or the sharp 4, however way you want to think of it, okay, going down. Now this is voice leading down to the root over here. So a lot of chromaticism here, a little nod to Charlie Parker and to bebop. And now here's the other thing too. Your question to me may be, gosh, the G, the F, the D, those are chord tones, but all this other stuff, isn't that wrong? No, it's not wrong. Once you understand chord tones and you understand how to use them and how to voice lead, then in order to make interesting music, you're not just sticking to chord tones, you're adding other notes to make it more melodic. Okay, this is a melodic lick, or it's a melodic Tim Price lick. Okay, it's a shape. So you can add these types of tones once you understand the chords for, the chord tones for each of the chords. All right, now it's time to play it. I'm going to play this at a slower speed. Try to get this by ear. So pause the video right now, try to sing it back, try to figure it out on your instrument. All right, here it is at the original speed. Get this lick down, not just in your fingers, but up here. Just memorizing a fingering pattern without really knowing what you're exactly playing is not going to help you at all, especially for the next exercise, which is varying the lick. Now, before I play my 3 variations, disclaimer, use these as examples for study. See what I did to vary Tim's original shape and then create your own. And if you want access to the PDF of my examples plus a backing track in 3 different tempos, plus dozens of other video lessons with licks from Dexter Gordon, Candy Dulfer, Maceo Parker, plus videos on practicing and other performance tips, become a patron, support my channel. Just head on over to patreon.com/Donna Schwartz Music for more information. Now here's Tim Price's original lick plus my 3 variations. Hey, let me know how you did with this Tim Price lick in the comments below. And thanks so much for joining me. On that note, take care. Have a great day.